Alright, here we go with a speedy zoom around the boat here, trying to keep video length down. This is the Shrike. She has a little bit of fender rash there that we're working on cleaning up, and then a little bit down there on her boot stripe. This is the main deck of the Shrike. She does have a hatch up forward, just behind the main mast. See that a little bit better detail later on. And this is the main hatch and companionway. It does have a hatch there that is unusable at this time because the steering column is on top of it, and all of that would need to be removed in order to be able to use the hatch. So we just don't use it. And then it's got your steering column and your controls. That's your forward and reverse. And then your throttle control for your speed. And then all of your gauges are right here in the hatch so that you can see them easily while you're underway. It's got storage for PFDs. Back there we've got some map books and some charts, sort of keep all that stuff. And then the gauge panel for your RPMs, your temperature control, all that good stuff is right there in the hatch, so you can see it while you're underway. And then the main companionway is sort of a spiral staircase, but it's pretty steep. If you're not good with that, you can do what I do and turn around and use it as a ladder. It takes you down into the main entranceway. There's some storage there behind the stairs. And then you are in the aft cabin area. The settee had all of the cushions remade, so they're basically brand new. I think they're 2, maybe 3 years old. The fabric on the walls is also a recent addition. There's some shelves my husband built for additional storage, as well as the 15-gallon water heater. The settee bench is hollow. It can be used for storage. Our cats used it as a playground. There are 3 access hatches underneath the seat cushions. And there is additional storage there in the floor hatch. Pretty large storage area. We use that as a sort of pantry for our food. It goes all the way to the front, or back I guess that would be, and then those are the water lines that run from the water heater. Pop that back down. There's a little step stool that I use. If you're good with steps, you don't really need to have that. And then once you leave the aft cabin area, you are in the galley. That's where you end up at the bottom of the stairs. It does have a 3-burner propane stove, which is new within the last couple of years. Additional shelves that my husband built for storage, copper countertops, brand new faucet for the sink was just installed a couple of weeks ago. All of the plumbing is easily accessible right underneath the double sink. And then underneath this counter is a pantry. It's got a built-in shelf for dishes. We've got some hooks hung up for cups. And then more hooks hanging up here that are just stuck with little adhesive backing. If you don't want them there, you can remove them with a little bit of heat. And then I had my pots and pans hung up there. Underneath the counter here, there's more storage space for an additional pantry, 2 big shelves and a little one. And then we've got all of our electronics. We've got a clock with a winder and a nice little barometer, both built into the boat there. That's a little bit off. I I always fix it every time I come to the boat. And then we have our control panels. Right here by the mizzen, we do have 3 huge windows here to let in light, in addition to the portholes on each side, one in the galley, one in the head, 12-inch portholes. And then all of our control panels, we've got our 12-volt system here with our bilge pumps and our running lights and all that good stuff. And on the other side, we've got our 110 system. Has a built-in 30-amp battery charger. That's what's on right now. Since we unplugged our solar panels, we don't have any power, so we're running the generator to charge the batteries. And all the outlet switches are controlled there. Under here, there's the battery charger. Got a little fold-up table. Switch. It's a dual switch. If you flip it down, it turns on the water heater. If you flip it up, it turns on the furnace. And then the red switches control the fans, which there's one under the stairs and one in the head. And in the head here, we've got our 4th window. It's got a little curtain over it for privacy. Another 12-inch porthole, a built-in sink with extra storage. It's got a good spacious shower. It's got a waist-high wall, a nice fancy shower head, and a curtain with a little shower rack mesh holder thingy, so you can hang stuff there. It does have a little shelf over here for additional storage. And then it does have a marine toilet that's not installed. We were working on that. It was one of our projects. It's on the list. And then continuing forward from the galley and the head, we come down a couple of stairs into the companionway. And this is where the main bunk is. There's a good sized bookshelf here. Another little shelf on the wall, and then a full-size bunk. And it does have a built-in ladder, built-in cubbies for clothes storage, another 12-inch porthole, more storage cubbies, and then it used to be a spare bunk. My husband and I turned it into a closet, so there's a rod holder up there with some hangers. Very usable space. If you want to turn it back into a bunk, you just take down the rod, throw a mattress in there, you're good to go. There's some backup fabric in case something happens in the aft cabin and the wall needs to be repaired. We've got some spare sheets for the V-berth. Those are pot holders for the stove, so they hold your pots in place when you're underway. A fancy hammock and a spare galley. And again, there's those 12-inch portholes on each side, and there is styrofoam insulation on the ceiling and on all of the walls all the way through the boat, which really helps with temperature and climate control. There's also styrofoam behind all of the fabric. And then forward of the bulkhead, we enter the shop area. It could be converted into a bunk if you'd like, or it can be kept as the shop. It's got another 12-inch port for lots of light, storage for all of your tools, and a little mini fridge. It can be run off of electric or propane. This giant box here is actually a deep freeze, which is pretty big and very cold, and it helps if you're just living at the dock. You have a nice good sized freezer, or if you're traveling, yeah, it's pretty handy. And then here we have our furnace, 55,000 BTU diesel electric furnace. It can run off of the ship's diesel, or it can run off of the electric shore power system, and this is the control panel that controls that. And then the V-berth with another built-in ladder, storage underneath all the way forward, and then it does have a 2x4 that keeps the mattress away from the wall to help cut down with mildew and promote airflow. I made these little pillows to stuff into the gaps at night while you're sleeping, and then you can just pull them out during the daytime or whatever if you need to air it out a little bit. I was trying to show you the 2x4 down there just to make sure that there's a gap between the mattress and the wall. We just cut this mattress. It's less than 2 years old. And then I almost forgot to show you the hatches. This is back aft under the mizzen. There are lots of hatches for easy access to wherever you may need to get. This forward hatch here is just so that my husband could shine a light down there, look in the bilge. The bilge pump switch is right next to that hatch, so it's easy to just pop it open without having to move everything. Check down there, make sure everything is good. And it is. Then we have this hatch, which is our battery access hatch. All three of our switches, so we've got our batteries turned off right now. So that's that, and then you can see it is a Lehman engine. And over here we've got our battery hatch. We've got two 6-volt batteries, and then the middle step has some wires going down to the third step, which is the other two 6-volt batteries, and they are wired together in sequence. That's our house battery bank. And then here is just the fuel switchover from the ship supply to the furnace. And then the main hatch, which won't open if there's something sitting on it. The main hatch is the main access down into the engine and the bilge, and you can get all the way back to the prop shaft, all that good stuff. It's quite spacious down in there. It's a little bit dirty, but that's about it. There's no water or anything down there. And that is that. Coming back up the companionway to the deck, there is the main, the captain's chair, where he sits when he runs the boat. And again, this thing pops off, and there is all of your steering controls and your throttle controls, easy access should anything ever need to be repaired. Straighten that corner real quick because it's turning the boat a little bit. And then we do have one new sail cover. The other two just need to be cleaned and maybe patched in a couple places. And our bell and our deck box. And then there's the forward hatch. It's pretty sizable. Makes it really easy to get things on and off the boat. I think it's about 4 feet square, something like that. And then it drops down right into, that's the shop area, and then this is the furnace under my feet. And then there's the windlass. And we've got 12-foot bowsprit, stainless steel stanchions all around. And that's all I can think of. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for joining us.